Oh, my days, brothers and sisters. How I have yearned to be back here, bro. It has been almost 2 weeks since I've come back to campus from fall break, and I'm just now hitting the rails.
What?
11 days of straight grind work and not being able to go out trackside, but finally, I've made it out on a weekend just to see whatever I could find. Typically, I come to terms with the fact that I'm gonna miss a lot of stuff when I'm out here. At the end of the day, I'm here for school and not for rail fanning, so I won't be able to see everything. But there were two things that came through. Oh my goodness, bro. I cannot believe that I missed these in the midst of my time studying. These two things were the two mode units that Norfolk Southern rebuilt from Dash 9s. These things first came in on Norfolk Southern 371. A 371 that not only had these two units on it, but also had one of the beloved CMQ units on it. Now, I knew that 371 terminated in Inman, so I'm thinking to myself, they're probably not going to go all the way up to a point where I'll be able to see them. They're going to terminate near the north end of the yard. They definitely went all the way past my bridge. I most certainly could have left class on time and still gone over to Inman to see it. But in my ignorance, I did not.
Sorry!
And then, the very next day, I am in the library studying, and then I check Discord to see one of my friends. Oh my gosh, that's 242! And I'm thinking to myself, there is literally no way that this train is getting directed to my home line of the Greenville. And then I check the cam, to not only see these mode units again, lined up the Greenville districts, but to also see the Erie Heritage unit leading. Huh? Oh my lord, bro. This was tragic, I'm not gonna lie. And at this point, I don't know when I'm gonna see those units, bro. I'm gonna be honest. But hey, we're here. We are out trackside. And after finding a CSX auto rack and a Norfolk Southern auto rack parked here, I decided to make my way down to Hawaii, where we will find yet another parked train.
Nice.
Here we have a CSX manifest with 2 GEs awaiting clearance. And in addition to this manifest, there is another CSX train parked behind it. So that's less than 10 minutes I've been out here, and we already have 4 parked trains, none moving just yet. But hey, at least having these locomotives parked here allows us to get a good look at them. Here we have a rebuilt CSX AC44 and a more vintage DC GEVO sitting here, resting quietly in the late afternoon sun, absolutely waiting for something to come by. And as we sit here waiting for a moving train for once, I actually ran into 2 people here at Hawaii. One of them who I knew online, Mr. Hotspot Southeast, who has amassed a following for his drone coverage of a lot of incidents and just very consistent uploading, and a good sir named Don. W Photos, love that man. Anyways, as I sat here, getting any random shots I could of the locomotives, taking any advantages that nature gave me, finally, looking to the right, something came through. Norfolk Southern 27A inbounding into Inman Yard. A train that has no business being this late. This train usually comes by here around maybe noon, latest 1. I think it was like 3 or 4 p.m. All the morning intermodals were late. Because apparently before I had come here, I had barely missed 25A, which really is late. And I had apparently also missed an autorack. An autorack train that had a blue bonnet leaser and Andrew. Yes, the L's are just piling up. But hey, we have a train. And slowly but surely, Norfolk Southern 27A traverses Hawaii and comes by the CSX manifest as it goes to Inman Yard. The evidence of PSR's effect on the railroad comes by soon with Norfolk Southern 27A's mid-train DPUs. A Norfolk Southern AC44C6M, and a rustic Dash 9 that has most certainly seen better days. For those of you who don't know, this train is long. And I mean it really, really long. Further evidence of PSR. So much so that I was literally able to sit here and get some editing done, waiting for this train to clear Hawaii. And the slow speed that it was taking to get into Inman Yard definitely did not help in terms of the time it took for it to clear. As this was going by, some random pickup truck came out of nowhere and started heading over towards Hawaii or down towards the CSX area. I'm honestly not too sure. And while it did that, 27A ended up stopping right in front of us. And it would not be long after it had stopped before we started hearing rumbling and then disappeared. A CSX local, led by a YN2 AC44 and a YN3 AC44, now giving clearance to proceed over Hawaii since the tail end of 27A is no longer blocking its path. This train is indeed coming out of the area where Norfolk Southern interchanges cars with CSX, and I believe that these wood chip hoppers are a product of this exchange. As you can see, some of them are labeled Southern, and some of them have their NS logos actually marked off. Regardless, they're still moving freight. In this case, I guess scrap wood chips with their massive size. I don't think you guys realize like how massive these things are. If you're standing next to one, you're looking up. These things have got to be a smooth 15 to 20 feet tall. Yeah, even with their volume, you still need multiple of them completely filled to move a given load of wood chip hoppers. Crazy. As the CSX manifest continues over the Hawaii, we get to see Mr. Hotspot Southeast doing what he does best around here, as 27A suddenly starts moving again as it continues its inbound towards Inman Yard. And now it would be the other CSX locals' turn to stop, as shortly after 27A cleared, it halted over the Y, as some CSX pickup truck was now heading over to the CSX manifest that is parked right in front of us. And as it does this, that first NS Autorack train that we had seen parked in the distance with a Union Pacific leader on it suddenly appears as it heads up the north end with an empty string of Autoracks. And as it does this, I am sitting here watching this train with the conductor trainee that was on the CSX manifest in front of us. While I was sitting here, this man actually hopped out of the cab, went over all the tracks, and I had to help him up the hill as he came up just looking for something to eat. And I asked him how long he had been parked here. He said a smooth 2.5 hours. What? I know, poor bro. And unfortunately for him, he came back right as his Autorack train cleared. So now he is sitting here with me waiting for this train to clear so that he can go back on a CSX manifest and continue to wait in the cab for more clearance. But hey, at least he now has a snack, munching on some nuts.
Excuse me. What did he say?
And at least we, having an Autorack train in front of us, get a little gallery of some of the graffiti work that can be seen plastered on some of these cars. These Autoracks are just giant canvases for people with spray cans. And I am not endorsing vandalism, but I am saying the art looks good. What can I say? It would be a slow trudge for this train before its tail end finally clears, and as it does clear, that CSX local off in the distance also continues its journey. auto rack now gone, the conductor trainee can finally traverse the rails and get back onto his train. But he will not be leaving just yet.
What do you mean by that?
Norfolk Southern still has control over the Y at the current moment, which will be evidenced by this next train coming up out of Inman Yard. Between the trees, we could see the blurred headlights of Norfolk Southern 242 coming up at the south end. And as this pickup truck turns around and reverses off to whatever it needs to do, if you look to the right, we could see that there is a clearance for Norfolk Southern 242 over the Y in front of that CSX manifest. And it wouldn't be a long wait before Norfolk Southern 242 came out of the south end of the yard as it heads up north on the Greenville district. This is the main PSR special for those who are on the home line, just because it is a manamodal. Intermodals and manifests all on the same train. This is something that was basically unheard of on our line or in this area on NS. But as a result of different railroading practices, here we are with this unique train as it heads up towards Charleston, South Carolina. And as this train clears the Y, finally, that CSX manifest gets clearance and they can finally start proceeding on to their destination. And here, we finally get to the footage that I uploaded on a short a few months ago. Y'all, this cannot be normal. Or at least this could not be the intended behavior of these trucks. As this train is struggling to accelerate with a heavy load, these things were rattling like crazy.
Oh, shiver my timbers!
And the interesting thing is, it was only on the steerable trucks, which are a lot more articulated. This shaking was not happening with the high adhesion trucks on the DCG road that's behind this lead unit. Correct me if I'm wrong, if this behavior on the steerable trucks is the main reason why railroads don't really like purchasing GEs with trucks like this. Regardless, it was some interesting behavior, and at least I had a good camera to capture it. And fortunately for the crew, it wouldn't be too much of an issue because the train eventually picked up speed and continued out. as this train cleared the Y, there was another train coming out of Inman that was slated to come up right after it. And as I began hearing GE rumbling behind me,
Good evening.
I turned around to be jump scared by the sight of this SpongeBob cat. The CSX local, spawning from God knows where, out of nowhere appears as I'm waiting for these GEs that I'm hearing to come out of Inman Yard. Oh my goodness, peak Atlanta magic. Trains literally just spawning out of nowhere. And right as this train stops just short of the Y, the train that I was initially hearing finally comes out. This is Norfolk Southern 154, northbound manifest, heading up on the Greenville district. As Norfolk Southern 154 continues up north, and this local waits in anticipation for clearance, I decided to head over to Inman. One of the main reasons I had come out today was because I had gotten word that Norfolk Southern 240 was supposed to have a BNSF H1 leader on it. And wouldn't you know, my prediction would be correct, as soon as I got to Inman, Norfolk Southern 240's head power was coming up out of the shops. And it wouldn't be more than a 2-minute wait before the crew got inside the cab, and this power started traversing towards the south end of the yard as they needed to go around a long cut of well cars so that they could couple to their load and take it up to Charlotte, North Carolina. Y'all heard that noise behind me? That was not coming from this train.
What?
In typical Atlanta fashion, some random northbound intermodal materialized out of thin air with no warning at all. I didn't see this on my phone. I had no way of tracking this. It just appeared.
Incredible.
Fortunately, it just had 2 NSGEs, so I wasn't really too concerned with missing any of that. And as I rounds the curve going by the locomotive shops, we turn to the other end of the yard to see this intermodal still going, to see all these intermodal containers are waiting to be inbounded, and you see Norfolk Southern 240's power as it head towards the south end to couple up to its next cut. So I raced my way back to Hawaii, where before the BNSF H1 came, I heard more rumbling to see the CSX manifest come out of nowhere with a Tier 4 GEVO and a CSX YN2-Ace.
Bruh.
Oh, if only I knew this thing was coming. I would have stopped at another bridge so I could have seen it better.
You are so sorry.
I turned my attention back to NS, waiting for the H1, until all of a sudden, there was rumbling behind me. And then pumpkins came out of the trees as Norfolk Southern 283, the southbound counterpart of Norfolk Southern 240, decided to appear. Yet another train to add to the counter for trains we've seen today. But hey, we are looking for Norfolk Southern 240, and now I was confused on where it was at. So I went back to the bridge overlooking the south end of the yard and the CSX Abbeville subdivision to see Norfolk Southern 283 continuing by, and to see Norfolk Southern 240 already coupled to its load.
What?
So I definitely missed something. But regardless, I could see the power right there. I knew that they were waiting for 283. So it's time for us to head back over to Hawaii, where it wouldn't be too long for the tail end to clear and for us to finally see the head end of Norfolk Southern 240. And shortly while they awaited clearance, they came up out of the south end of the yard and I was ready to see them pass by. And then they stopped. Why? And then they started reversing again.
Bruh.
So I guess they were still building their train or something. It wasn't, their cars weren't completely collected.
Huh?
I don't know. Anyways, as they continued to reverse back into the yard,
It's popping.
that CSX loco that we had first seen awaiting for Norfolk Southern 154 appears once again. With 154 now gone, the CSX loco could continue its work, while also holding up Norfolk Southern 240 in the process as it needed to traverse Hawaii as it was doing its job. As this train came on by, 3 people that I knew personally actually appeared at Hawaii, actually waiting for Norfolk Southern 240. But unfortunately for all of us, you wouldn't believe what came by next. Ah, yes, a northbound manifest. And maybe some of y'all are thinking,
Wow, Logan, you saw another train.
bro, this is bad. This is one of the times when seeing a train is a problem, because now this northbound manifest is going by and it is completely blocking me from seeing Norfolk Southern 240. But I'm thinking to myself, we're cool, we're chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that there's no way that this train is gonna be that long. That's gonna completely block me out from seeing Norfolk Southern 240. So I decided not to stress, and I was just enjoying seeing this train coming by. And then I look to my left, and what do I see? Smoke. Exhaust coming from Norfolk Southern 240's head-end power, as this train suddenly decides to come up out of the south end of the yard and push closer towards the signals. Tragically, as the northbound manifest is continuing on by. Man, bruh. A brother could not win in these streets, bro.
Nope.
My goodness. Norfolk Southern 240 is now sitting here with the head end now out of a good view and no spot that I know of nearby where I'd actually be able to get it at a good spot. And of course, within a minute of this train pulling up to the Y, the tail end of this manifest finally appears.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Oh my goodness, bro, this train. And so now I sat here, getting to see Norfolk Southern 240's power with nothing blocking it. But this was not the best of views. And with the PTI van going up to the head end, doing I honestly don't know what. It wouldn't be long after before Norfolk Southern 240 began traversing up north towards its next stop in North Carolina. And all I could get was this immaculate shot of the H1 going through some trees. I'm certain this is the best video of a BNSF locomotive you've ever seen in your life.
This guy stinks!
From this random spot, I continued over to the King Cloud Bridge to see Norfolk Southern 240 going by, and honestly, being ready to call it quits. This was a very nice return back trackside. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head how many trains I saw this day. And honestly, for a rough him like me, that's a good problem to have. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and as always, God bless. I will see you soon out on the high iron.
Psych!
You really thought this video was done? That's crazy. I thought this video would be done too. But right after 240's tail end cleared, an approach signal was given on the Norfolk Southern side.
Bruh.
And not only was this approach signal given, on the CSX side, another signal was given. This is some unique type of clearance that honestly, I don't have the best explanation for. And hopefully if a railroader is watching this, they can give a better explanation in the comments as to what this means. But anyways, with 2 trains now slated to come by, I said, you know what, we can wait just a little bit more. Unfortunately, it would not be a long wait before the first of these trains, a Norfolk Southern northbound intermodal, came slowly trudging along as it's probably heading north to terminate in Illinois. And my friends, finally, I came to my senses and knew to put on manual focus since I knew it was going to be nighttime so that we did not have any more of this nonsense. The camera was actually acting up earlier right before this train came when I had the automatic focus on. I saw that on the screen and said, we're not doing this again, bro. We're not running back this foolishness. So the focus will be pretty much maintained. Thank goodness. As this Norfolk Southern train slowly continues on towards Inman, you can see an alternative view of the signals on the CSX side to see that unique CSX signal and some more clearance down to the right. And soon after, as sunlight is quickly evaporating and the tail end of that intermodal train appears, the glow of more locomotive headlights appear on the rails.
Good evening.
As now a CSX auto rack train starts rounding the curve. And as I'm filming this train,
What's kind over there?
I turned around to see random headlights. There was some random train coming out of the industry area off the CSX end. And to be honest, I really didn't think I was actually going to be able to see this train. I just thought it was, oh shoot, something off in the distance that decides to just materialize out of nowhere. So instead, I focused on the Norfolk Southern intermodal train going into Inman, and now the CSX auto rack train coming up literally right behind it. And as the CSX train begins to round the curve, suddenly I see more headlights appearing on the rails. And then it becomes clear to me that CSX train that we had seen off in the distance is actually coming here.
Wow.
I don't know what this assignment is or what train this is, but regardless, we actually get to see this train. And it is actually being led by the same two locomotives that we saw leading that one local earlier in the day. And now they've tacked on an SD40-3. Giving us an uncommon triple standard cab lash-up on the CSX side. We'll take those on CSX of all roads. This new CSX manifest will continue to pull up as the auto rack train continues on its journey, until it stopped. And then it started reversing. So now we've gone from a rolling meet to now we have a little bit of a train race as our CSX train continues and this manifest begins reversing back. to take its eventual time before reversing all the way back to the industry area over there. And if you look to the left, look what we see.
What is that?
More glow on the rails from headlights.
Where's you from, cuz?
And soon, the culprit of this glow would pop up. Another Norfolk Southern intermodal, a southbound one, now coming out of the yard, continuing on his journey. And with this train clearing, I look up and I see that there's another train line. But at this point, I was done. I was tired, okay? I've seen too many trains. If I really was gonna stay out here and wait for this place to actually die down on traffic, I was not gonna leave. So I made the decision, despite knowing that there was gonna be another train coming, I decided to leave. I don't even know how many trains I caught this day. It was crazy. The volume of rail action that I saw today,
Nice.
exquisite. Oh my goodness. And even though the H1 got scuffed, I got some good shots. And overall, this was a stellar return to the rails that I'm glad I was able to share with you all. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, God bless. I will see you soon out on the high iron.